Streets and the public spaces of cities were, in the pre-modern era, the primary arena for social encounters and transactions, structuring interpersonal, political, devotional, commercial, and everyday interactions. These spaces were consciously shaped by collective institutional decision-making as well as through private interventions, with the consequence that we should understand the built environment of the street as perhaps the most complex artwork of the period, fashioned by a diversity of actions and executed over quite long periods of time. Objects, individuals, and events are all bound together in an ecosystem of time and place. As is increasingly being shown by scholars, reconnecting this complex system to space and location can offer new insights and open up new questions. It is evident that different ecclesiastical environments were crucial to much of the artistic production of pre-modern eras, and a vast range of scholarship has shown religious art and its wider patronage and contexts. A rather more recent trend over the past 20 or so years has seen the emergence and flourishing of a scholarly endeavor applied to the domestic interior, which has benefited from interdisciplinary approaches to the largely elite home as a place forged through art, architecture, social practices, individuals, patrons, and so forth. Here it is the act of living in the domestic sphere that emerges, with the material culture that was associated with it. This book aspires to direct a similar attention to the public realm of the world of Italian cities, seeking to reassemble a sense of the material culture of public space, and to fill the gap in historical knowledge of the mundane and the exceptional transactions that took place in cities of the past. Through visible signs and gestures that are often still inscribed in the urban fabric, this study recovers some of the multiple ways in which the urban life was played out in cities, ranging from the grand and ceremonial to the prosaic and the everyday. It is for this reason that the book's title addresses not just the physical spaces of the street, but the less tangible essence of the life that was played out in those spaces. To that end, the hierarchies of meaning and significance applied throughout this book tend to follow the dictum well known among contemporary urban designers of the Danish architect Jan Gehl: first life, then spaces, then buildings. The other way around never works. In the realm of contemporary urban design, Gehl's work is best known for the applications of the context of shared space, a way of managing the streetscape that cancels the primacy of the automobile and redefines the position of the pedestrian, an experiment first introduced in Copenhagen and now replicated widely in cities throughout the world. The title of his 1971 book, published in translation as Life Between Buildings, is clear and underlines the importance of that key area of the city that is all too easily overlooked, the space between all the vertical building structures that make up the urban fabric. Gehl is distinctive for having reversed the primacy of built form in architectural practice and for attending to the nature of human interactions in the public realm and considering how these can be improved through interventions that alter behaviors and collective experiences. Moreover, in considering the means by which good quality urban space can be achieved, Gehl specifically looks to changes that have transformed the way that cities function and have been inhabited since the Industrial Revolution. His practice has highlighted a transfer of essential activities formerly transacted in the public space of streets, commerce and business, but also commonplace interactions of various types, showing that people will now occupy and enjoy public space for optional activities only where appropriate quality and amenity are provided. Shared urban environments are created by reducing the dominance of the automobile, designing street furniture and layouts that facilitate pedestrian encounters, and encouraging the establishment of retail and leisure activities that make an active feature of the public spaces of streets. Copenhagen, as well as streets in New York, Sydney, London, Brighton, and numerous other cities, attests to the successful implementation of these ideas, while economic indicators and quality of life statistics point to the net benefits to be derived from what may seem at first to be disruptive and transformative interventions. But what relevance does any of these have to a study of street life in Renaissance Italy? In thinking of the urban realm as an ecosystem and describing a priority of the people who make up cities at any given moment, Yale offers us insights into ways of living and understanding urban form that are eminently transferable to different historical epochs. Moreover, while it may seem anachronistic to deny the primacy of the automobile in thinking about life between buildings in the past, the relationships occurring at street level that Yale discusses are perhaps as old as the practice of urban living itself. Thus, to make something of a bold chronological leap, we might look at Ambrogio Lorenzetti's fresco The City at Peace, or Good Government in the City as it is sometimes known, painted in the government chamber, the Sala dei Nove or Sala della Pace, in the Palazzo Pubblico in Siena at the end of the 1330s. Lorenzetti is not, of course, representing shared space in the same terms as are described and theorized by Yale, but it is hard not to read this image of urban life and the next showing rural life as demonstrating the very same primacy of first life, then spaces, then buildings.